Alright, everything should be set up. Posted out the notifications and all that stuff. So we should be ready. I even made sure to swap back to my Dragoon, and I picked up a new set of armor, so he's now using the Shire gear from Idleshire. So that's definitely good. Oh, my fishing retainer managed to find the fat cat minion for me. I adore it, but for now it's gonna have to go away. Should I do? Could do some more with Midgard Zormer, but I pick up got Sid recently. That wasn't the very last one I got, though, from the story, was it? Maybe it was. Oh well. I'll have little Sid run around with me for a while. I thought I had got someone else from the story recently as a minion, but I don't think so. Alright. We'll drop back into the Foundation and pick up the MSQ. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I should be playing as. I'm not certain Dragoon is the best fit for this. It'll work fine, which is why I ended up deciding on going with Dragoon. It's because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to use, and it should work fine. But I don't think this one so much is dealing with like the war against the dragons and all that as much. Though it is a bit. That's why it should work well enough. Hey Tataru. Search for our missing friends continues. Should I learn something, I'll be sure to let you know. Uncertain future. The food, really? Don't care. Fortuitous timing as always, Ash. The Taru was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Riel and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamen helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Riel, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzethan, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Riel thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though. We still don't have a clue where they went. I see. What of Thancred and Minfilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of a Sharlayan scholar, one of the students of Baldessian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first, we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. Messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know?
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Sorry about that.
Perhaps I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
Oh well.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom.
Yeah, I know. The Scholasticate was covering that too.
To help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Shrine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Shrine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
Interesting.
We must needs open a
A
dialogue.
Garlean on behalf of Ishgard treating with the dragons of Annex Shrine on behalf of the Scions, I guess.
Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core.
Oh, that was bound to happen.
For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength.
Yeah. That little snag needs to be dealt with, like, more permanently, or this is never gonna end.
Prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
No little of these lands the dragons call home, this annexed shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? But ere we set forth, Ash and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Let us go and bid farewell to Tataru. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission to annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Ishtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join Y'shtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off. We've kept the first commander waiting long enough. You are ready then? Good. So am I. The path is long, but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the western highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Yeah, I'm not going to the Chocobo stables or anything. I'll just meet you there. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army. Here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Isael to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands. Men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. While that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Yet who can say what might come to pass should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. We must press on to Annick's shrine, if you will follow me. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Isael. Oop. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed. You may speak, Knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked into an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth. The King Thoradin and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoskr, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth. The truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Isael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Asael once did. And we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. The most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon? My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith. Until we meet again. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charliot. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray for your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was. And thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. Wow, this is, 3.1 is going a bit faster than I thought it would. I think there's only like 7 or 8 quests in the whole 3.1 patch. And I'm going through them a lot quicker than I expected I would. Maybe I'll go through 3.1 and 3.2 if time allows tonight. Although it may slow down. Some of the later quests may be a lot longer. So it would seem that we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire. These should go there. That should go there. Healing ones here, maybe? It's not exactly mitigation, but it's pretty close. It is healing. So realistically, maybe it should go over there, but I don't think I need to put it there. We'll see. Ah, it is good to see you. I confess, I had assumed your business in Annex Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as could be expected. She must discuss her Emmerich's proposal with Racevelger. Of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlian guest? Has she arrived yet? She has. But when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Oh, very slow wait. Hey girl, good to see ya.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir.
Well, luckily these people of Idleshire have some really good clothes, so yeah, I look the part. They make great clothing here.
And who is that I spy but young Alpha No Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Yup.
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
I love the look in her eyes. Yep, every single Lala, super evil.
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
A sec. Okay. I never really bothered to look up and noticed a bunch of the stars are lit up. Wonder if those are supposed to be each of the constellations that represent the heavens. Yeah, those are probably each of the 6 constellations representing each of the 6 heavens. I'm coming for you eventually, but it's probably going to take me months and months to get there. Oh man. My internet's acting up again. It won't stop. I don't know if I need to replace a part, or replace the router, or replace God only knows what else. I really don't need this right now, though. It's kind of annoying that it keeps doing that. Oh well. Just try and make it through tonight, and then try and figure out what to do with it. You did say we were heading for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured, they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Stola.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our Order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Croyle, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our Order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. So, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
That's pretty impressive then, because my crystals are able to do a lot of stuff. So, I can't even imagine what this would be capable of.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola.
Like that. Beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts. And yet they decided to put her in her Final Fantasy V Beastmaster costume.
Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west. towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al.
What a coincidence that her flow spell to transport Thancred out of danger sent him right to the foot of Somal and not to some other continent a million alms from here.
It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Right? It didn't dump him like 10 moms out somewhere in Thonalin or 1,000 moms away on some other continent. It just happened to dump him right into the Heavensward location. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather does not strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through here reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Krile. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into 2 pairs. Ishtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Ash and Krile question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Asvath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. Why, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you've finished making your rounds. Searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. No, I ain't seen him around, sorry. What's that you got there? A sketch? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior. I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. The way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the bleeding ball. Sounds like your man? Yeah, that sounds about right. A Huron man. They're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This is beyond the forest, as I recall. Along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. Lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Yeah, I know who he's talking about. Finished. In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Where's... In the smoldering wastes. Should be down around here somewhere, shouldn't it? It did say Loth Asvath. Oh, that's Nath. Lothus Vath. There. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations. Ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter, with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Phrasing, Alphino. Is it now? Thank you, Stola. Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kyle. Quite right. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Lothas Vath. Must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone. Come along. Great hunters, we welcome you on sport with Lothas Vath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. I'm curious. Hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey? No, he's not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend to Vath as well. One with whom we have traded many times. Truly. And you are quite certain it was this man? No doubt. Fleshed and clothed skids came to us from Somal. Lost and weak, he offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. Brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was. Much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Lothas Nath, not long ago, when he heard one mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana is returned. Vidofnir did say that the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as sacrifice. There we go. Just slaughter your way through all the Nath.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
This is not Thancred. Hey guys. Trigger each other's echoes.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not!
Limit break.
So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have
Cocky
care.
jackass.
The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Yeah, that's right. Just let me stand there while these guys beat up all my friends and do nothing, even though I'm sure I could. It's another one of those moments, right? Game got its story to tell, and it's damn well gonna tell it whether it makes me do nothing at all while horrible stuff happens or not. It's gonna tell that story. Damn it. Even if it makes me look useless.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Thank you, Kryl.
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
What's up, Thancred?
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
Thanks, Y'shtola.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the altogether.
God, Thancred.
Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides.
That little Nutkin's sense of timing is great.
Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement.
Ugh.
From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
Undoubtedly.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Forget enthusiasm. We're the only people that anyone even bothers to let do it. Every time one shows up, everybody just comes running to us and begs us to go off and do it for them.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
Bit on the nose, but whatever.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
Considering that they actually used the word Ascian, you shouldn't have to think about it.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals, despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Or is that the only oddity? I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how Ida and Popolimo found Ash. Ah, the memories. Seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge. would imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us not. There's far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emeric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia is still missing. I thought she escaped with Ash. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Oh, they already took me straight to Annex Shrine. Nice, but I think I'll fly up. I think... it'd be this one. No, this may be one too high. Where's the door? There it is. Not door, but path. There we go. I had not thought to see thee once again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks, Vidofnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where my own kin did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit, the god fell by another's hand. Another. Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter. I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation, as promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy kind betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe, such is the folly and the glory of man and of dragon. He hath entrusted to us the choice. Then we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Emeric's invitation. Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and will convey your words to our allies without delay. It is happening, Ysael. Would that you were here to see it.
even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend. Honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide.
Yep.
Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
I do love the constant repetition in his memoirs of honorable men, honorable men, honorable men. Like, yep, I get it. I get it. Uh-huh. The most honorable men in the world. Frickin' scumbags. Oh, wow. Well, crap. Great, foundation is just congested too much. Let's keep trying. Just gotta keep trying. See if I can get through at some point. Fine. The thing is, I would probably be able to get through sooner by keep on trying than doing it this way. But I don't want to just sit there and constantly be spamming it. So I'll just go the longer way. Usually when the area is too congested, it really only takes like 20 or 30 seconds before some slots open up. Gate guard? There we go. Force my way in, basically. Right, let us not keep Sir Emmerich waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, quite well. Forgive me, you've given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians, and our friends nowhere to be found. It would seem there's no end to our troubles. We can but face them head on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida and Papalymo, and Minfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray, do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand venture at one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough. May rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. Hey, Hilda. What you doing here? Nothing special, really. Just here because everybody's here since he got stabbed. You've returned. In this, at least, the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidofnir has accepted Sir Emmerich's invitation. She has? These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Is he otherwise engaged? Aye, he's sleeping off a knife to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? Couragents tell me he will make a full recovery. But had Lord Edmond and Lord Artwell not been on hand when the assassin struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land the telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been doused in the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. It is plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Till they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. Ooh. Yeah, we're getting towards the end, I think. There's only 1 or 2 quests left in this. Well, this can't be the end, so there's got to be at least 2 quests left in this. But we're almost there. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city in both the pillars and foundation. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alfino and Mistress Stola, I would have you take charge of the investigation and foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tatara can be of assistance as well. Meaning Ashran and me will get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Thacred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. May I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. Oh god, Thacred, not the time. I'll bet. Name's Hilda. A Scion, eh? And there I was thinking I'd found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That is all. While we could begin by siphoning through the charred rubble and questioning random passers-by, in my experience, every town has at least one individual who could be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye, the infamous Lord Amandelin de Fortamp, lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Ash. He'll be at the Crozier most like, making an effort to be seen. So let's go and see him. Grizzled I will accept, but old? Friggin' Thancred. Scruffy looking nerf herder? Who's scruffy looking? Hey Manolin, hey Anawa. Well, if it isn't Astrid. Dearest of all my friends, you're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old boy? Yes, the arsons. Dreadful business that, and awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile going up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you are wondering why the Hoplon is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Emmerich's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man, not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old boy, if you are thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hoplon. While you conduct your inquiries, I could offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Damn it, Amanolin. Wait a moment. I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old boy. I'll have you know my heart yearns for but one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. If it will help to prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I had hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hoplon Ash, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You'd only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. Pretty sure it'll be up here. Is it below me or above me? I think they're all up above. Yeah, I think they're all up here. Hey, Maylee. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window. And then there was smoke everywhere, and it was so hot I couldn't breathe. I remember how I made it out. Suppose I must have climbed? Maybe my arm is getting better after all. Unruffled Refugee. Interesting name. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed. Didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our back. Not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do. Uh-huh. Sure. Church's generosity. That's what it is. Hi, criminal. I mean, priest. Come, my brothers and sisters. There's food and shelter enough for all in the Basilica. Jesus. Just look at his face. Everything about this guy screams villain. Elona's blessings be upon you, Father. I confess we're not sure if we should come. So many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Emmerich and the Dravanians. Trust in your heart, brother. Pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Uh-huh. Do you require succor as well, sir? So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good, this madness has gone on far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your step. I'm sure she will. And just like the Fury, I'm sure I'll bury my spear deep through your heart. I know it's a little obvious what with me having played through all this on a trial account before, but I'm fairly certain the very first time I took one look at that guy, even back when I was playing on my trial account, I'm like, dude, hi villain. Is everything about his design, right? Not just the fact that he's a priest, but everything about his design is very, like, villainous looking. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? We will require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we are to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raymonod's Cathedral and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Really? How amazing. What an amazing coincidence, isn't it? Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the 2 occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give one cause to wonder. Alphino will doubtless have an opinion. Silence will avail you not, sir. Ah, I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words. He did not. So we insisted. Let me go, damn it! You've got the wrong man. My, but you reek of oil. And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose. But tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile. Look at me. Aye, that you are, after a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrel slipped the leash, said about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you, but then these highborn types rarely do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you Rabbit and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks. He's the one that told me to keep going. Even a sinner such as me can find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I'd left it behind, tried to, with all my heart. Said my prayers every day like a good man, but he came to me. He came to me! And there you have it. Hilda, would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye, so long as you don't mind if he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thacred. But how did you know he would confess? Well, I've seen his like before. A troubled soul manipulated by men of power and wielded as a weapon. Could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if our captive had called your bluff? Must we entertain hypotheticals? The world as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best that we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. Love how it's always like, man, something really, really bad and really, really like sudden seems to be happening. Let's all fall back for a couple of hours or days and talk about it for a while. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander. Lord Artwell, are you come to see your father? He is attending Sir Emmerich in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. My Lord Artwell did not seem to be in the best of spirits. It's little wonder, Master Alphino. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. I don't really need the primal accessories. I'm gonna eventually get the Shire stuff anyway. Could be an interesting stopgap, but... nah. I'm good. There it is. As goes light, so goes darkness. This is the last one for this section of the MSQ, this patch of the MSQ. So,
I
decent
do not mean to diminish
decent
our
chunk of
accomplishments,
spoilers for
but until
3.1
we
coming up
identify
on
the
this
ones who
quest,
ordered
but
the fires set, our
nothing
work is far from finished.
too unexpected or out there, really, for the whole overall storyline.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
You mean like this?
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Yeah, nope. Instead, let's just send the Warrior of Light in, full-on Halone style, with a spear and everything, to kill them all. Because they're a bunch of scumbags who are taking a bunch of down-on-their-luck, downtrodden, lower-class refugees whose homes they just burned down, hostage.
That the truth will somehow die with him.
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
It's interesting, in just a minute of thinking about this, like, going in through the front door, which is what we end up doing, because this is a dungeon, is very stupid. They could very easily kill all the hostages before we get anywhere near them. If they would legitimately let me, as the Warrior of Light, talk and make suggestions and do stuff in this story, I would have instantly been like, let me go get Midgard Zormer. You guys send a contingent to the front door to, like, talk demands with them or whatever, and then I'll fly on top of the vault, and then I'll come in through the back. Try and release all the hostages, and then just kill my way through them, and we can just pincer them from both sides.
At once, Lord Commander.
It would have worked
Hilda,
so
I
much
need
better
your people
than
out
what
in
we
force throughout
actually
the
do
room.
here.
When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Sure.
Of course.
We are in your debt.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends. Time is against us.
Given the swiftness with which they seized control of the vault, I think it highly likely, yes. Which means that they may well possess the knowledge required to turn the building's defenses against us. Be that as it may, we have no choice but to press on. Lord Arturel, you are a brave man and true, and none would dare question your honor if you chose not to risk your life in this endeavor. Are you certain you wish to join us? I am no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Emmerich. My arm will not falter. My shield will not break. Alone is my witness. We will bring these fanatics to justice. Well said, my lord. Friends, follow me. Oh yeah. Not a traditional dungeon, almost a little bit more like a trust. I forgot this is how we handle this one. No, you don't. Stay away from the refugees. Elsewhere by Sir Simeonard. Indeed, the work of the Archbishop's former servants. On your guard, they've sounded the alarm. How are we doing? Okay. So that's the escape. I'm supposed to stick with these guys, I guess. It is interesting to see the NPC, like, major allies actually bothering to help me in a dungeon for once.
Down with you!
Whoop! No, you don't. Get off of him. Or them, whoever. Alright, let's go.
You underestimate me.
do this. So Simeonard, lay down your arms and release the hostages. You will be shown mercy, I give you my word. Yeah, right, he doesn't care. Ah, the word of a heretic and kinslayer. I would sooner trust a dragon. Activate the knights. We shall show the hostages the same mercy he showed the archbishop. Bro, I've killed dozens of these knights in previous dungeons. They're nothing. Unlike you, Sir Emmerich, I am a man of honor. By my hand you shall receive of the Fury's judgment. So it is to be a trial, then. Lord Arturel, Ashran, leave us and save the hostages. I will deal with Sir Simeonard. Yep. Go get the hostages. Love that Emmerich with a hole in his gut is still perfectly capable of dealing with these jackasses. Yeah, I need to run. I think they're going after the hostages right this second. I'll be back for you guys in a sec. Right now I need to go and try and deal with the other set of hostages that they're after. Only one here. Did one of them get killed, or is melee counted as one of them? Where else? I don't like what's happening with Emmerich's health right now. Where's that last hostage? Here. Maybe? No? No. Okay, probably gonna fail then. Because Emmerich's health's going down, and I don't know where that sixth hostage is. And I can't heal Emmerich. I have no idea where that last hostage is. Yep, most likely gonna fail this duty and have to do it over then. I'm gonna try and kill off some of these people at least.
This knight does not yield!
Nope, there goes Emmerich. I have no idea where that last hostage was. None whatsoever. I should have come in here as a healer so I could heal Emmerich, and I have no idea what happened to that last hostage. Yeah. Skip. Oh, great. Wonderful. Thanks, game. No, I'm not playing it on very easy. Just get to it already. Just shut up and let's go. Dragoon is kind of terrible for this mission. Kind of hilarious considering it's a Heavensward mission. Oh, God. You know, even with how fun it is when your, like, actual allies from the story show up in missions with you, I still hate these NPC tag-along missions. Because they're never done well. Every time they put NPCs in a mission with you, they drag you down like an anchor rather than being a fun addition. It's not just, hey, look, your friends are in a mission with you, now go have fun. It's, hey, your friends are in a mission with you, now every time one of them gets hit, you're probably going to fail this mission. They drag all the usual garbage from, like, escort missions in, and it's just not enjoyable when they do that.
Down with you!
Nope, I have to wait for this entire stupid dialogue so I can go this way.
You underestimate me.
I don't know. Every time they stick an NPC in a mission with you, it should just be, hey, cool, go have fun with your friends. It shouldn't be, here's an anchor, let me chain it around your neck. It just makes you not want to do this with your NPC allies. It makes you not want to play with the NPCs. Okay, so the game won't let me. So I think one of the hostages did die. In the other place, I think one of the hostages died. And I was supposed to just go right back to Emmerich because it was over. One of the hostages died. Nothing you could do about that, but the game didn't tell me that. Stop killing the hostages. See, they're already attacking these ones over here. Yep, one's already dead. And the amount of time it takes to even fight the other group of killers, there's no way you can save both. Or you probably can, but I'm not gonna, and I'm done trying. Screw it, some hostages are dead. Too late, too bad. Too bad, so sad. Now I'm leaving. No others nearby. He needs our help. Okay, so they did actually announce it. How I failed miserably and how I should just go back to Emmerich. Last time I just missed it. I was too busy trying to actually focus on the mission instead of what some idiot was saying to me. Oh well. Yeah, no, I'm not even bothering with that. Bye, guys.
This knight does not yield!
It's okay. Come over here and fight me, Simeonard. Waste your time on me. Blah, blah, blah. Just die, Simeonard. So I can finish this mission. Oh, there's the 6th. Literally, you can't do anything for the 6th. So, why bother telling me that there even is a 6th then, game?
Where is he? Where is he? Come no closer! You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Bad choice of words.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
I'm good with that. I'll happily help you.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
Uh-huh. So, what exactly are you jackasses gonna say about the dragons now, idiot?
What? But I...
How exactly are you morons supposed to talk about how horrible all the dragons are after they literally save a little child that one of your priests threw off a building?
Vidafne!
Yeah.
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment?
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
Honestly, you'll never be able to convince the children of your lies anymore. And they're kids. This time next week, they'll want to be playing with the dragon and going for flights and stuff. Alright.
Never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee. I bear a message from my sire.
From Freysfelger?
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing.
Oh. So Stinian didn't just return there and start the dragon song over again and raise up his brood to try and kill us all again. He actually grabbed as many of them as he could and flew off somewhere where no one could know where he was. That's, I didn't remember that.
This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So luckily enough, it seems like my internet only crapped
So it
out
is
on
as
me
they
once
said.
tonight, and I only
A
dropped a
great white
handful of
dragon swooped
frames.
down from the heavens
Huh.
to rescue an
Still need to
innocent
look into
child.
what's causing it.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers?
Yeah, well. Unfortunately, if
After
a bunch of people are still going to
years,
keep on
the
trying to
world these
lie
men
and
once
force
knew is
their
changing,
bullshit down our
and
throat,
without
then,
gentle swiftness to
you know,
boot. Though their
Guess we'll
actions
just have
are
to
misguided,
cleanse
their
that entire
sentiments are
generation,
only to be
basically.
expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause. I share your desire for a lasting peace with the Jovanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of horsifying you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Bailey over there just celebratedly talking to everyone about how cool it was that the dragon caught her. This has been a day of surprises, has it not? It's but a pity Vidofnir could not stay longer. Yes, I think it's fair to say that she timed her departure rather less well than her arrival. Well timed scarcely does it justice, but 1 moment later would have been a moment too late. Let us pray that the Ishgardians who yet harbor doubts will take these events to heart and accept the truth of Sir Emmerich's words. Ah, 'tis only meet that I inform Tataru of what has occurred here. If you have need of me, I shall be at Forton Manor. Allow me to accompany you. Tataru would never forgive me if I left the Rising Stones without saying goodbye. A moment, Ash. I wish a word. Tell me, does Thancred seem quite well to you? So you sense it too. A subtle change, imperceptible to most. Myself did not notice it at first, but upon closer examination, I saw that his etheric flow had been irreparably disrupted. As a result, I strongly suspect that his ability to manipulate ether has been compromised. Simply put, Thancred may no longer be able to wield magics. Not the biggest loss in the world. Every version of Thancred that I know of is either a melee DPS or a tank, so his ability to wield magics is not all that great to begin with. It would do much to explain why he chose to remain within the wilderness instead of seeking us out. He would have been compelled to rely solely on traditional methods of travel. Granted, that could be a problem if he can't teleport or anything like that anymore, significantly prolonging his journey. And when he learned that a nearby beast tribe was making preparations to summon a primal, it may well have seemed the more sensible to wait. This is still little more than speculation. Till I have proof, pray speak no word of it. Right then. I should be on my way. Trial may have charmed Master Matoya for now, but who can say how long it will last? Alright, and then down to Forton Manor, for I'm guessing one last cutscene, and then finishing up the quest. And I probably will finish up for the night. Even though I only had one hiccup in my internet, I still had one, so I'm gonna have to try and look into that some more and figure out if I can't finally pin down exactly what the problem is.
that Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
A shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue.
Sure. I'll probably glam every shield I get for the rest of forever with that. Why not bear my new adopted family's crest? Not that that'll matter too much, because I don't play Paladin too often.
But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house. Sir Emmerich was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince Houses Durandare and Zamail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge.
I'm sure it's not actually a matter of convincing Houses Durandare and Zamail. These are the great houses, dude. Are you really that blind, Alphino? I'm sure they more than believe he isn't actually trying to commit a coup. They've known him long enough, but this is a good opportunity for them to snatch some power out from under him and even remove him from his position, so they're going to take it. It's how these great houses operate, especially Durandare and Zamail. If they can take some power away from him, they're not gonna. They'll pretend to believe whatever they want to.
I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Yup.
You sound just like him. Aye, I suspect that is what Horchefon would have said. To aid those in need. When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way.
You know, I thought I was supposed to pick up one of the emotes that I wanted during this section of the quest line, either the victory pose or the battle stance. I didn't see it come up in any of the quests. I wonder if I've unlocked it and it just didn't tell me it, or if that's not until later. I don't think there's one of them. I think the victory pose I don't pick up until the Eorzean Alliance's little show match later on in 5. Is that 5.3? No, not 5. I mean 3.3, I think. I'm not certain exactly when it is. I'm pretty sure that's when I get one of them.
You were a brother to Horchefon.
But I thought I got one of the others around this time.
Will you be a brother to me as well?
Sure. I already am. As far as I'm concerned, this family adopted me.
Come, Emanelaine. There's much to be done. For father, and for Sir Emmerich, and for Ishgard. to think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
I will say it's somewhat more obvious exactly where each of the patches end in Heavensward than it was in ARR. You would get cutscenes that were kind of like, yeah, that feels like the end of a patch in ARR. Here in Heavensward, you'd literally get another section of Count Edmond being like, blah, 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 and then it goes from the memoirs of Edmond to Fortemps, right? It's a pretty specific, very obvious cutoff. And, oh yeah, this cutscene. This is thy proof, the Garoon oracles, Apocrypha. It is a truth long forgotten, a tale of the beginning and of the path we have been set upon. Hey, buddy. Buddies. Our fates were ordained long ago, Archon. The Garleans are no exception, nor the Triad. You know what must be done. Yeah, guess who's coming back in the next section of storyline? Oh yeah, and we get to see what they're up to. Well, everyone has their orders. The masks will attack as soon as all units are in position. Oh yeah, that's not Papalimo. The masks will attack as soon as all units are in position. The Imperials won't know what hit them. I fear it will be bloody. By Ralgrid, it better be. We cannot stay here forever, Ida. We have other responsibilities. I know full well what my responsibilities are. I mean to fulfill them, every one. Where they're off helping the Alamegan refugees in the rebellion. So it goes. Title? I think so. House Fortemps Knight. That's a good one. Okay. This is going on every single Paladin Glam from this moment on. And this... Oh, no more favorites, really? They only give you the one page of favorites? Dang. You're going... I really want to get rid of the capybara. You... You, I suppose. I'll just choose him myself if I want him later. I'll just pick you myself later if I want you. There we go. Hey, Orshafont. Good to see you again. Okay. Now that I've finished As Goes Light, So Goes Darkness, that should unlock a number of other things I wanted. Though I may continue on with the MSQ pretty quickly, because there's a number of things from the 3-point blah 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 MSQ storylines that I do want to unlock. Emotes and new features and things like that. So I may continue on with the MSQ pretty quickly. If not like the very next time I stream, then within the next couple of times. But for now, that's where I'll finish it for tonight. Next time I stream... I don't believe I'm going to stream tomorrow. So I think the next time will be Thursday. And I believe I will either be continuing on with the MSQ. Maybe. Not certain of that. If not, then I'll probably continue on with the Scholasticate quests. Or I'll start with the Sky Pirate raids. The next time I'm streaming. It'll probably be one of those three. Oh. I got Monk up to 50 and I need to go through that quest line sometime soon. Not right now. I'll do that at some point. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. And like I said, I'll see you again on Thursday. If you're... I'll tweet out and put on Discord... when I go live and what it is I'm doing in the game on Thursday when I do go live. And so if you're interested in that, I'll see you guys then. Alright, later.